Hi guys, Susan here again. Yes, we're outside today. I have a bit of a repair job to do on our car. The other day we got a stone chip. If you can see it here, right there. That is known as a bullseye. Okay, it's a stone chip that has kind of put a pockmark in the windshield. We just replaced this windshield last year for the same problem, but it had a spider crack going all the way across. This one is a bullseye, and we stand a chance to maybe repair it ourselves instead of replacing the windshield again. It is currently minus 2 degrees Celsius out here. I have a hairdryer propped in the car there, running on high to heat the interior of the car. Currently in there it is 14 degrees Celsius, and let's go inside and have a look at the kit that I bought at Canadian Tire for like $17 in tax to fix this bullseye. Okay, and here we are with the kit. It's the Permatex Windshield Repair Bullseye. It says right on the side there, Bullseye, which is what we've got in the windshield, is a bullseye chip. The contents of the kit, I've opened it up and had a look at the directions already, is a plunger, which is used to pressurize and to remove air. We have I don't know if you can see this, it's a patch for a curing strip, rather. There is an adhesive circle, which you remove the center, of course. You need somewhere to get the resin in there. It's got adhesive on both sides. You remove the white one, put that on the windshield, and remove the green strip, and then you mount the pedestal here in the same orientation as the adhesive. Here is a little tube of resin. You have to cut the tip off the resin, and it goes down the hole here. And you're supposed to use 3/4 of the resin, reserving 1/4 of it for the end steps. And there are instructions. Boy, are there instructions. It is a total of like 12 steps. Okay, so it's really hard to see this cure strip here. Keep track of that one. But there are a total of 12 steps. But if we take it one step at a time and do things properly, we should have a good repair. Now it does say you are going to also, tools required, a push pin or the edge of the safety razor, a safety razor, and dry cloth. I have a safety razor here, and the push pin, you could use the corner of the safety razor. It is just to pick out any loose glass in the chip, and the cloth is in case any resin escapes. You can wipe it up quickly so it doesn't get everywhere. Anyway, so let's take this outside and fix our windshield. Here's the back of the cardboard that the kit was attached to. Permatex Windshield Repair. This will repair bullseye, chip, combination, and star chips on your windshield. Makes a virtually undetectable chip clear repair, safe and easy to use, professional quality design for the do-it-yourselfer. That's great, because that's what we are. No mixing, heating, or special equipment required. Repairs chips, scratches, and bullseyes in windshield up to 1.25 inches, which is definitely the size of ours. It's a small one, so this should be good to repair. And there we go. Okay, here we are. The temperature outside is +3, I guess? Yep, 3. And the inside temperature of the car is 18 Celsius.
Hair dryers work pretty good.
Yes, they do.
Saves gas.
The instructions say windshield temperatures between 10 and 24 Celsius, so the interior temperature is going to help warm up the glass. Don't allow the resin to come in contact with painted surfaces. This may cause damage, of course. So the first thing we do, we need to clean out any loose glass particles from the chipped area. Using a push pin or the corner of the safety razor. You basically just want to probe around in there and make sure there's nothing loose. Now we take our dry cloth and just wipe the area, make sure it's clean to get a good bond. Then you go to put the adhesive on. So, next step. Oh. Okay, really awkward here. Okay. Next step is putting the seal. Yeah. Okay. Punch out that center hole because you need to locate that around the chip. You peel this white side of it off. Okay. And you put it over the chip. They say to make sure this tab is pointing up the windshield. And you want to locate it right over the hole that the chip was in. There we go. That's pretty centered. Now you just push it down and make sure there's no air bubbles. You want a solid seal because we're going to be working with air pressures to inject that resin into that crack. Okay. Alright. That's pretty good, I think. They do say to check from the inside to make sure there's no air bubbles, but because we want to keep that temperature inside warm, I don't want to open those doors if I don't have to. Okay, I'm trying to get at the green sticky. There we go. Alright. You peel the green sticky off, and you're going to mount the pedestal in the same orientation, okay, as the sticky here. Seal. That's pretty good.
Down a little. Downward. Okay. That should be good. Hopefully.
A little off, but yeah, okay. So you press again to make firm contact all the way around because you want that seal properly fastened. Alright, now next step, we need to take the little thing of resin and you cut the tip off the resin container with a pair of scissors. And it says in the instructions, put it down the hole and you put in about 3/4 of it. You reserve 1/4 of the tube for the final steps.
Careful.
Okay. It is hard to tell because that tube does not go down.
It's not see-through.
It's not see-through. You can't, it doesn't deflate, so you can't tell how much is in there.
Okay.
Okay, let's
I'd say
try
that's
that.
probably pretty good.
Okay. Leave that up right side up there in the tray. Now we take the plunger and we have to fasten it at the lowest point. There are two indents here, and you're going to go to the lowest one here.
I thought you're supposed to
are.
suck the air out first.
You are.
Oh, okay.
I'm showing them where it's going to sit.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it's solidly in there. And then holding the tube, you do just as I said. Now, that is a good seal because it is taking something for me to pull it up.
You have to twist this to line it up.
Yep.
There you go. Okay, right there.
Right there. Okay, so what it's doing is pulling the air out of the crack. And it said, gently vibrate the glass around it to help dislodge any air bubbles. You don't want to press too hard on the glass or you're going to make the crack even worse. Because it's already a flawed windshield. You don't want to give it any more reason to crack. Just trying to gently pull it out. Okay. Now this stage has to sit, it says in the instructions 10 minutes, but we are in the winter season, so I'm going to double that time just to give it time to do its thing properly. I don't see any resin leaking here, which means we have a good seal. And it sits like this for, like I said, 10 minutes or 20 in our case because it's cold. And then we go on to the next stage. Be back in that time. Okay, here we are. We're back again. It's been over 20 minutes since we left this. Again, due to the cold temperatures, let's just give it extra time. The next stage we do is to release this plunger out, okay? Gives the air the chance to get back in there. And then we put it back in. Okay, and the next step is...
Push that down a little more. Gotta go down a little deeper.
That's as far down as it
Okay,
goes.
I was just checking.
Geez, you give somebody a camera. Okay. Now the next step is to rotate this a bit and put it plunger into the topmost divot there. And what that's going to do is put pressure on and make the resin sit down into all the cracks and crevices in that hole. And we leave that, the instructions say for a minimum of 20 minutes. So again, due to the weather, we're going to leave it for longer than that.
40.
40 or so, okay?
It's plus 6 out here right now,
yeah,
according
it's
to our
plus
gauge.
6.
And we got 21 degrees inside
21
the car.
degrees, which is good. We need that glass warm. And the instructions say between 10 and 24 Celsius. So
yeah.
we're in good range here.
Yeah.
And of course, this is winter. This is when you get stone chips.
The
technically. Mostly. This is when we got a stone chip last year and we had to replace the windshield because it cracked straight across. It needed replaced at that point. We couldn't fix that.
Yeah.
So we're trying to fix this now to avoid another windshield. Those are not cheap. So we will be back as soon as the time has elapsed. Okay, we're back. Now we see what all our work has done.
Or not done?
Or not done. Yes. Okay, there is that possibility.
Well, there's a lesson to be learned here. you might not want to do this in the winter if it's not going to work doing all this.
That's right. Okay, so now the time has elapsed. It's been over 40 minutes. Again, we went over because it's winter. We're done with the plunger. And the next step is to peel this off. You just take the safety razor and work your way around the edges and get it started. We have to take this whole assembly off the window and reveal the crack. Oh, I hear something working there. It's starting to lift. Just work my way around the edges. Oh!
And you got to wipe.
Pedal still's off. Alright, no problem. That's why we have a cloth handy, so we can wipe that resin. Oh man, that is a good seal. Just carefully work around. Keep in mind, this is my first time ever doing this kind of a repair on a window, but it was worth the risk and the price of the kit to see if I could do it. You can get chips professionally repaired by a glass place, but I guarantee you it's going to be more than that $20 I spent on the kit. And of course a windshield is even more than that. There we go. Getting there. Destroys the seal on the way out, but that's fine. We don't need to reuse it, so destroy it can. Here the hairdryer is still working away in there. It's 17 degrees in the car and 2 degrees Celsius outside the car. So that is the temperatures we're working with.
Real nightmare getting that off.
It is. It is a bit of a
It could
nightmare.
come off easier in the wintertime.
It's important to keep this safety razor flat against the window and not dig. You don't want to make the crack even worse or gouge out any of that resin you were trying to put in there.
Alright, I'm going to move over here.
Yeah. And get a closer look.
Wow, that looks like it worked pretty good overall.
Yeah.
I would probably, you're going to want to get rid of some more of that residue.
Yeah. Well, you're in the way right now, so.
Let me try.
Again, don't dig.
I'm not.
Go flat.
Okay. Bad angle, sorry guys. Alright. Now you're clean enough, you can put your final step in place.
Yeah, and the final step is to take just a tiny bit of the resin that's left in the tube that you held back from the initial.
That actually worked really well.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
Okay. Tiny bit. And you put it right in.
Just go around that whole area there.
Yeah, because you can scrape off the excess resin.
Okay, a little higher, a little higher. That looks good.
You can scrape off the excess resin
Afterwards.
And you take the
In this case, it's clear.
curing patch,
Yeah, some of the patches are yellow and whatnot. Okay, take that, get all your bubbles out.
Just simply smooth it over so that all the bubbles are out and it holds the resin in the crack. Like so. I don't think there's any more bubbles.
Looks pretty good from here.
And there we go. Alright.
I'll give you an inside view after too.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll probably see better from the inside, but I didn't want to open the car doors because I'm trying to maintain the heat in there, so.
Spinacial.
Alright. So we got one little segment after this. Instant for you though. Hi guys, we're back. Next day. Long story short, the segment I shot at the end of yesterday was corrupted somehow, but here we are. Here, you didn't get to see me take the curing strip off, but no big deal there. I have one tip. It's right here. I'll give you a shot inside as well. One tip, any extra resin that you need to take off of there after taking the curing strip off, simply spray it with some isopropyl alcohol and use the safety razor to gently take it off of there, and it comes off in no problems with no residue left. So there we go. That's the outside right there in front of my finger. There's the outside view of this repair, and now let's go inside and see from the inside. And there we are there. It is barely visible. I am really happy with this repair, and to me it was so worth the $20 to do this ourselves, and even in the winter. So it can be done, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.